that I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. You know, I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, wait, I'm here. Who wants to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles. Bodywork,
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Just another Sunday evening, y'all. And I wanted to talk some boxing, man. I already got confirmation, man. You know, me and my man Marty King, we go back a little ways, man. We've been talking this boxing for a while. Don't always agree on everything, but I got confirmation on him that this is a great topic, man. So I salute you, man. This is how we do, man. Like, everybody don't gotta agree, but we all should be able to talk this boxing, man. And I definitely appreciate that you stopped by, man. Definitely appreciate that, man. Who's the dude in the middle? Johnny Allison. He looks dead. That's the dude. You know him. You know in the movie 300. You know what I'm saying? You remember in the movie 300? Remember the one who they used to have to go to? You know, when they wanted to know what was going to happen in the future. The little ugly dude with all of the skin and all that nasty stuff, but he was just telling them what was going to happen before it happened. That's that guy, Johnny. From 300, the first one, man. You know, it'll be equivalent to like when the Matrix, you know, it was a woman who was called the Oracle, but it wasn't the Oracle on that one. I forgot his name, but that's that guy, that character. You know what I'm saying? I know what you want to see, Johnny. I'm gonna just because I know you like this one, man. I'm gonna do this one for you, man. I'm gonna do this one, man. I know you like that one. You know, you always like that one, so I'll do that for you, Johnny. But let me get into my spiel, y'all, because it's fight week. You know what I'm saying? Technically, it's fight week, and we had some good things that actually happened this weekend, and that's not really my forte, man. That's not really my forte today, even though, you know, I already chopped it up a little bit about some of those fights that happened this week and the fact that Moses Itama is a problem for real. I mean, I would really take my time. I was out, salute the L Dub. I was frequenting his channel. Subscribe to L Dub, man. He does a lot of the foundational stuff. I mean, it's almost kind of like, I will put it almost in a lane like mine. You know, that's why I appreciate what he do, because he will go over all of the undercards, many up and coming fighters, the car, like he'll review the cards, and you could tell, like you always know who know they boxing, man, when they can just rattle it off, like, oh yeah, that fight, he's a good fighter, tell you the characteristics, break it down, give you their opinion, whether they right or wrong, give you their opinion, but just rattle it off. He does a lot of the if I had to categorize it as administrative type stuff for boxing, you know what I'm saying? He does a lot. Like, I think people like him and that guy, Demosthenes, who put out the highlights of all of the fights, but the foundational work that L-Dub do is pivotal. So shout out to him. I was over there, man. And I had commented on his channel that I think Moses Itama is nice. And I would take if I was them, I would take my time with him, man. I would take my time with him. I mean, I know he's rising and all that. I would take my time with that guy. You know, at first glance, especially he did my man from the DMV dirty early, you know what I'm saying? But I you know, at first glance, he looked special. He looked like, man, with he looked like, man, ain't no rush. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no rush to get up there and, you know what I'm saying, like, don't send your wings. But if he ready, he ready. But between that, Angelo Leo and Josh Taylor, who wound up looking like a front runner in that fight, started off looking like, you know, he was just piecing up what's his name, Usman. And by the end of the fight, man, it was just a different story. But people already cooked on those subjects. You know, and that's not my goal for today. My goal really is to get into this Jermall, the Hitman, Charlo. The Charlos in the sport of boxing have always been polarizing, right? The Charlos, I think they almost like me, man. You either love me or you hate me. You know, I relate to them because they speak their mind. Like they will talk, they'll speak their mind, man. They are like lions, man. And you know, I know Mel, he fights the personality Mel. Now I'm talking about Mel now. The one that they consider the smaller twin, the 154 undisputed Jermall. The way he talk and act is what he embodies inside the ring. You know, early on, people used to always make comparisons and things like that between them and say little stuff. And I'm like, man, listen, man, they're twins, man. Why do we say this divisive thing? It's okay when they go at each other because they twins. You know, it's like having a brother. If you ever had a brother, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna go at it sometimes. Y'all gonna rough each other up. Sometimes you gotta take your brother out behind the woodshed, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna get a scuffle. I appreciate the super chat, Marty King. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But the Charlos, man, depending on, because the thing is with the Charlos is you can't control them, right? You can't really control what they say, how they're gonna do, whatever. Like they're just their own kind of people, right? And I think they get a bad break because a lot of the conversations around the Charlos, depending on if you like them or if you hate them, especially if you have a large audience of, you know, minions, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get them to believe, because I shared this story the other day. I said that when I used to be a part of this one community, right, I found myself not really liking them at first, because I was listening to all the conversation around it. You know what I'm saying? That's why over here on this channel, like if I don't like you, you're going to know I don't like you. But I still try to give you a fair shake. And I use the facts, or I just won't say nothing at all. Right? I don't say anything at all. So it wasn't until I got away from the pack and I actually started, like, as far as boxing conversations, because I've always been like one of them guys, like the critical thinker. I've always been the guy that's always going to ask questions. That actually got me out of a Ponzi scheme one time. When I was in South Carolina, man, my man invited me to something that went on to be one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in the state. You know, I think it was the biggest Ponzi scheme in the state, man. But I finally went to one of them meetings, man, and they basically said, man, hey, brother, who brought you here? And I was like, man, brother such and such brought me here. He's like, okay, well, did he tell you it was working for him? I said, yeah, he said it was working for him. He said, okay, well, I said, but I still have questions, right? And they said, okay, brother, we'll wait till after the discussion, and you know, somebody get with you after the discussion, and then they'll speak to you, right? And I was trying to tell my man, because I had already been in insurance and all that. I tried to tell him, man, and today, that was back then. I was like, man, ain't nothing going to yield you more than 20% return, man. Like 15-20% return, ain't nothing in it out here financial that's legal. It's nothing other than gambling, but that's gambling. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing out here that's going to be that's going to remotely give you anything around 15 or 20%. Those are alarming. The red flags should fly off, and it went on to be one of the biggest Ponzi schemes. But because I have asked questions, and I think outside the box, you know, I started looking at these dudes for myself. I started looking at the Charlos for myself. I started evaluating them for myself. In that ring resume series that came out, and I was watching them all. That Tank had one, I think Keith Thurman had one. I think Danny and Sean, I think they had them. Jermall had them. Jermall had them. And I'm like, okay, so once I seen the glimpse in the, and hearing the storylines in between them, I went back and whatever fight I could watch, like the whole fight, I actually watched them. And I said, man, Mel is the truth. I had already been seeing Maul, you know what I'm saying? But stylistically, I'll say, I think Mel had kind of changed from being like a boxer puncher to being more like considered a knockout artist. Maul was always considered the sturdier one, and a lot of people will acknowledge, if they're going to tell you the truth, Jermall Charlo, and probably to this day, still has one of the best jabs in the game. To this day, they'll tell you that. To this day, they'll tell you that. If they're being truthful. But still present day in time, whenever the Charlos are being brought up, more specifically today, I'm not going to talk so much as Mel, only as it relates to Maul. Jermall. Jermall. We're talking about Jermall, the Hitman. We're not talking about Jermall, Iron Man. When he comes back, of course I'm going to do one of them. One of the most disrespected undisputed champions out there, I believe. We're talking about Maul today, and things that I said and things that I forecasted a while ago, and conversations I used to have about the brothers, because I find it that whenever we actually have fighters, right? Fighters that we can stick our chests out or be proud about. If you focus on what they do inside the ring, right? Their reputation inside the ring, their fighting style inside the ring. If you make that, if you do the 80-20 rule, focus on 80% of what they do in the ring and then 20% of the things that they do outside the ring, you will appreciate these boxers more. It's just like listening to and watching these music artists. When you start digging off and finding out things in their personal life, it's going to ruin your experience as you listen to their music. It's the same way with these boxers. You start getting to personal shit and all this, you will be off the beaten path, and you won't give them credit for what your lying eyes are actually seeing inside the ring. So I want to say that we always have a time, right, where our fighters have fights or have struggles or have comebacks. We always find a way to turn on them and to not support them when they should be supported, right? We'll always conveniently find, like, it's just like, your man's having a cookout and for moral support you should be there. We always put that finger up and tiptoe out the door and find some kind of excuse. I can't help you move this time, big dog. I'm not gonna be able to make it, though. I know that's your firstborn. I can't make it to the birthday. We always conveniently find ways how to not support when everybody else, we thinking about culturally, everybody else will find a way to support. They do not care if you got face planted, if you got knocked out, if you took a knee, if you quit. They're going to find a way to still support, to still change the narrative. We don't do that. So this is a stake in the ground conversation about Jermall. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you some things, and I'm going to actually play something so that you can probably get into this conversation about Maul and whether or not he can come back, hurdle the obstacles he faced, like we all do. We'll get into that, and claim victim number 34. Because I remember times when he didn't give his opponents names. He gave them numbers. He gave them numbers. So this would be victim number 34. That's how cold he was. You know what I'm saying? So Thomas Lamar is, going to be victim number 34. If Maul is who he's been and who he's always shown. But I want to show you something. Look at this, y'all. It was some time ago, but this is back when I used to have to date my thumbnails. It just got too tedious. I was like, man, if they're gonna steal, if they're gonna bite, they just gonna do it. But I used to date my thumbnails. This was the time when I used to date my thumbnails. So look at this. This was 8/20/2022. At that point in time, this is when I was asking the question, did they age him out? Did they age him out? Because there were a lot of things going on, man. There was anybody who he can get lined up at that time when he can actually have an opponent, they would just berate, belittle the opponent, say, "Ah, man, you know, such and such." Like one guy he had faced Juan Montiel. Juan Montiel hit him with everything. I mean, he hit Juan Montiel with like everything but the kitchen sink, and it was just one of those times where he was in the ring with a guy who knew, if I could put a blemish on this man's resume and give him his first loss, that would be big news. There are people, if you listen to Thomas DeMotta right now, he knows that his life will change if he can be the first man to put a 1 in that L column. Everybody who knows this man knows that if you can put an L in that, if you can put a 1 in that L column for this man, that's just like they praising Lamont for actually putting a 1 in the draw column. But imagine if Lamont would have actually put a 1 in the L column. They know that if you could beat this man, even right here, because a lot of people are trying to claim that it's faded glory, and I beg to differ. And I even heard somebody one time, it's been a minute now, but I heard somebody one time trying to clown me online, right? That's how I know people are not mature. I heard somebody trying to clown me online because I spoke about a time when I was in the military. I was fast tracking. I had did 4 years. I signed up, and at the end of my first 4 years in the Army, I was in El Paso, Texas, stationed there. By the time I did my second enlistment, I signed up for 18 months. So in them 4 years, when I left El Paso, after doing 4 years, and I transitioned to Korea, I was an E5 promotable, meaning I was getting ready to make rank. I was just waiting on points when I went over to Korea. But being young, being wild, like when it came to things that mattered, like when the suit was on and doing, you know, when it was time to do business with my Army things, I was that guy. I was that guy. My issues was when it was time to get off of work and go out. I was wild. I wound up getting a DUI. When I got the DUI, they bust me down to a E4. So it was like they damn near took 2 ranks from me. Because I almost had the point. I was just waiting on points. So in 5 years, I would have been an E6. That's how fast I was tracking. I was young, I was wild, I made a mistake. And I related it to these guys and how they get so much money when they're young and all this and that, and then they get exposed to things, and I didn't have $1 million. I was just shining as a soldier in the Army at the time, being wild. Had my little clique, had my little thing going on, you know what I'm saying? Just double life in it almost. So I equated myself in my heyday or in my time when I was the young adder with too much venom to these guys, but multiplying it by the fact that they had millions, exposure to whatever they were more famous and things like that. Somebody tried to clown me online for that. Tell me, oh, they think because they got this and that they can relate to these. I'm like, no, that shows maturity. Like, I'm not ashamed of nothing. I have no regrets. Like, yeah, I mean, it messed me up. I wound up going back to the board and getting promoted again, you know what I'm saying? But it was a big blemish on my career. But I can relate. That's why I don't act like I'm holier than that. I don't act like I don't have a past. I don't act like I haven't went through the maturation phase of being young and wild and crazy and, you know what I'm saying? And you know, just angry and violent. You know what I'm saying? Fighting and looking for it. And, you know, I was doing music and all kind of stuff, performing and all kind of crazy stuff. Like, I was just out there. So I don't, when I look at these young guys, I be like, ooh, man, like, ooh, reel it back in, get it back in, like, get it back between the lines. And I seen a lot of that when it comes to these guys now. It's a lot of things out here that we don't know. But yeah, I had said that I related to what happened with Earl. I said I had related to what the things that Maul and Mel were going through when you're going through issues with a significant other and it don't work out, and how your life is and having to rebuild and all that. Like, I realized that I am human. These boxers are human too, but there's a lot of people that get online and act like they're not. So between being ducked by Canelo, by having like a hard time getting opponents, Maul had a hard time at one point in time getting opponents that would line up and stand across from him. Why? Because he could damn near, if he wanted to, he could damn near knock you out with a jab. He literally made Hogan do a backwards tumble when he hit that man. But I did this video back then when I started seeing the writing on the wall, and I made this video right here that I'm gonna attempt to play. I made this video back then. That's the thumbnail, 8/20/22. That was coming up on 3 years ago. In August, that'll be 3 years ago when I did it at the time. And that's when I was saying, did they do it successful? And I think to a certain extent, they did to a certain extent, as far as where he made it to before his shortcomings and then the things that were outside the ring started to catch up to him and we started to see something different. I think they were, but guess what? They didn't finish the job. They ain't finished the job. Why? Because he's coming back. He's made his return. And one of these things is, man, it's very polarizing, the conversations that we have when it comes down to mental health. Because I remember when Ryan went through mental health, everybody coddled him and said, oh man, remember when he pulled out? Because the first time he spoke to when Ryan said that God told him he was going to knock Tank out in what, the second round or first round or something like that. He said God told him that. He had mental health and he went away. And when he came back, everybody was like, oh man, he suffered from mental health, and give him a break. And they handled him with kid gloves. Teofimo, he had mental health. The fans, myself included, said, hey man, this man going through some life issues, you know what I'm saying? With baby mama drama. If you can relate, you can relate. Where you want to see, you see, but you can't because they got all of the. If you can relate, you can relate, but that's not nothing to joke about. Everybody coddled him, had understanding. Jojo Diaz, when he tell his story and how he had picked up the bottle and some of the other things that we not even gonna mention on here. ProBox took him in, gave him a facility, got him right, you know what I'm saying? Man, had him training, gave him more payday opportunities. Everybody was understanding, like, yeah, man, that mental health is, man, it's something else. Oh, man, alcoholism, oh, man, that's something else, man. Like, yeah, man, because even AB to a certain extent, people were more considering and understanding, but it was something about these Charlos to where anything they did, they always highlighted when these dudes got locked up, either one of them. They always highlighted their mishaps outside the ring. They didn't highlight when they got the key to the city. They got the key to the city one time, there was no news. But go back and look at how many people were actually doing videos of when these dudes had mugshots. Either one of them. We're going to keep it specific tomorrow. They didn't do that. They didn't highlight. They found an opportunity. They found an opportunity when it was a Juneteenth. It was Juneteenth. They found an opportunity. That community I was talking about that I used to be a part of a couple years ago, they found an opportunity to actually come out and say, we're going to boycott. It was Juneteenth. That's why I be trying to tell people, man, if you going cold, be on cold for them all. But this clock in and be on cold and then clock out and be off cold, be on cold all the time. But it's not on cold to boycott. They hated the belt. They said, oh man, look at this card, man. It's all, I was like, so what did y'all want? Like, because it was a black and Hispanic, pretty much the whole card was like black and Hispanic or Hispanic, that whole card. Oh man, look at this, man. I was like, so what did you want it to be, African American versus African American? Or did you want to like try to build or equate some kind of semblance of some sort of rivalry in there somehow? What would they just found different various ways to complain? And that's one of those things that I say that we always find it convenient. We always get real creative at the reasons why we choose not to support somebody when they need our support. We always tend to forget that we don't make, it's some people on here, man, I can't hold a candle to some people online. Because some people online, man, some of these channels, man, that's been around, that might have been to fights, might have filmed fights, might have been in tune about, they're perfect. They are perfect. Like I can't hold a candle to them. I don't know where these guys, I'm like, man, I wish I was around people like y'all who just always did everything perfect. Mistake free. That's not me. I've made mistakes. I'm not ashamed, but maybe the things that I talk about can help somebody. Well, he's not ashamed. This new Maul, he's not ashamed. But I want y'all to hear something and we can have open dialogue. I'm going to drop the link, man. If y'all want to cook and say something or whatever, contribute to this conversation, y'all can. I'm going to try to play this, and I hope it don't chop up because sometimes stream y'all be acting a little funny on me. All right? So I'm going to try to play this, y'all. But I want y'all to see where I was at and how I do it and how I talk boxing, what I was on then versus now, bringing it full circle. So bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. I gotta mute this. And I gotta go to this here.
I don't care what people don't like. They got mad when I said, talk about me the most on the internet, nigga. Yeah, man, it don't be nobody else talking about me. It be niggas, my own people that look like me. Talk about me like a dog. Kick me when I'm down. Can't wait. look at Gates. Went to jail, they celebrated, clapped their hands, it was happy. I don't look at color and see race no more. I see real and fake. That's it.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Today I want to talk about the Hitman, Jermall Charlo. Are they successful in aging this brother out? I know people like Mike. I mean, how? I mean, he has a twin brother. You do know he got a twin brother that's the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. That's the exact same age, 32 years old. Yeah, I know. But you know, we live in these perception versus reality, you know, driven era in the sport of boxing right now. It's a perception versus reality. You would have people out here believing they're twins. Nobody sees any kind of ending to his career whatsoever right now. He's thriving. But the perception is, since Jermall don't really fight anybody, what they say, and since nobody really would fight him, I mean, when you got the face of boxing ducking you, for the highest payday he could have had to date, when you got the guy that's getting ready to fight the quote, who never wanted to unify. Sees Canelo, the off-brand version, saying that he wants to fight you. Want to fight. Rumors that are swirling around and everything that's going on, that they actually put Jermall Charlo in a lose. Yeah, man. The StreamYard didn't want me to be great. I knew they was going to do it because it's funny how we clipped out right when I started talking about Triple G, and I started talking about it started buffering and started stopping me, man. That's why I say, man, but that's a valuable video. Basically, what I was saying was Triple G was at a point where he didn't even want to say Jermall's name. Canelo had found a reason not to duck him, and then Canelo had found a reason to go ahead and fight Triple G. And remember, Triple G had waited for that guy that was in Japan. He waited for that dude. Never wanted to unify, never wanted to do anything at that point in time. So that video gets into, I knew StreamYard wasn't gonna let me be great with that. It's no surprise to me. It's no surprise. But check that video out, man, because I was saying that I was basically saying, did they do a successful job at aging Maul out? And temporarily, I think they did. Temporarily, I think they did do a good job. You know what I'm saying? Temporarily, they did. But he's back. Let me get back with these comments real quick. Let me see, man. And let me see. Jermall didn't run, right? Are you telling me King went out to give him a James Kirkland scrap? I don't think so. Jermall shook my head, thought he was bigger than Canelo. He saw Canelo hit like a semi-truck and realized I can't beat him, bro. Yeah, man, I cooked and I did my thing on Mel, even though that's my guy. That's why I say, y'all got to give Bodywork some credit. Y'all got to give Bodywork some credit, man, because I did a video about Mel because that was my guy. And I said, man, I know that my guy, I know my guy ain't do that. So I get on my guys too. I came out, I ate my crow, I did my video too, and I called it out. I said, man, nah, man, God. And I had to deal with it. But guess what? I stood at attention. And like on Baby Boy, remember when Baby Boy, when he said, man, chuck it up. Nah, put your chest out. Chuck it up, little nigga. I had to chuck it up and take it on the chin. That's what I did. I believe Canelo aged Jermall out. Bodywork, yeah. Cookie Monster, Bodywork, salute Cookie Monster. He changed his style for that particular fight. I think he got cracked and things changed. Yeah, he started using his feet. I'm late, but mic check, 1 2 1 2. Sounded fantastic. I appreciate you, Cookie Monster. DSTN, salute Bodywork, salute DS. Interesting. Charlo was loving the limelight. He had Texas and all the celebrities appreciating him and didn't follow that support according to business out here with the mumbo jumbo instead. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why okay, let me get back. Let me see. Just for a DUI. Yeah, I was in Korea, man. I was in Korea. I almost, I shouldn't be here, man. I shouldn't be here, man. I had a Honda Excel, man, and if you seen pictures, I seen pictures of it. I couldn't believe it. I actually cracked one of them columns under an overpass. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, the vehicle that they pulled me out of, it was like a sardine can. I can't believe it. All I came out, I had a little blood clot in my eye. My hip was messed up. I had a scar on my chest and like right on the side of my face. Like if I shave my beard off and you see the side of my face, you could see a scar on the side of my face. But yeah, man, I shouldn't be here, man. I'm here for a reason. Facts, them Charlos was vicious. I guess it can be people do die in these kind of activities. However, it's the system that lets the real DUI guys get off. Yeah, like the people that the repeat offenders. I thought Canelo was going after the Hitman after he washed Iron Man. Damn, I didn't know JoJo was going through that. Yeah, man. I think I know what community you're talking about. I'm sure you do, Martin King. Yes, indeed. Glad Maul getting back at it. That jab and Bodywork gotta be respected again. Like me, Bodywork. They totally different boxing style. While Jermall was ducked frequently, Benavidez wanted to fight Maul. Adam, salute Adam. Wanted to fight Jermall for a while. Adam, is that true? Who is your source? Benavidez himself. What do you say? Benavidez wanted to fight Maul. Yeah. It was, because it was some funny business. It was a little funny business, but when you look at, because they were in talks. Benavidez was calling out Maul, and then Maul was like he wanted to fight, and then he said that Benavidez needed to get a he said he needed to get a COVID shot, and he needed to do something else, and I was like, like what? But yeah, that actually had happened. Only thing is, people give these caveats with that, like they say if you're chirping at somebody that's above you and you don't move up, it's like, okay, and you stayed there, you just didn't, so people pick and choose. But yeah, it was a funny situation with Maul and Benavidez back then. I remember that time. Benavidez has since done a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And Maul kind of had his personal things, and he came back, for a second against the smaller Benavidez. Got to be an active Jermall. It takes a few fights for a challenge like Benavidez, I think. I never heard that. Did Charlo? Some would say Johnny Allison. Some would say. And I knew I was breaking up, man. They won't let me be great when I do that, man. That's why I got to get something else, man. I got to get I don't know what I got to do, because if I'm on my man channel, I could be on my phone. I could actually show my face. It don't break up. I'm clear and all that, but it's from mine. And plus, my videos, like I might wake up like between the night and tomorrow, it might be like 100 people that see this, and in the morning it'll get to 125. After you get to like 122 or 125, it completely stops. Like not one other person watched the video, not one other. Like that's how I know. I'm like, I can't say I'm shadow banned or blocked, but it's something about it that they don't. I think I done something to somebody or said something about somebody, man. So they always like cap me out. They always cap me out, because I might, before I go to sleep, it might have like 100 views, and then I wake up, it might get like 10 or 15 more, and then it utterly stops. Like not one other view, not one more view. So it's something, man. But I don't care. I still get my word out though. Probably Johnny Benavidez said they tried to get a fight with a lot of guys before the Plant fight. Triple G ain't that memorable as folks think. Who he beat that we as fans care for. Yeah, they aged all right. Good question. Real life circumstances, you definitely had an angel watching over you. That's the best story I've heard from an actual crash as horrific. Yeah, was great, Adam. Enjoying the night of boxing as it is today, bro. Respect. Yeah, man. I'm not perfect, man. And I'm not one of them guys that try to make it seem like it, like now, like, yeah, the way I move and how I am now, like, yeah, I try to be. I'm a perfectionist, but I'm still not perfect. I still make mistakes. I still do, but I mean, I can honestly say between, aside from these Black and Milds and me sipping on my monsters, I haven't drank or smoked since, it's been, what we in the 5th month? It's been 7 months. Outside of when I took my lady, we went to Outback, and I had a little their little boomerang little coasters, little margaritas, and when we went down to Myrtle Beach, I had like a little bit. But nah, man, I don't drink or smoke no more, man. Like I try to be, and that's been stopped. Like the way I'm talking about, like back then when I was in the Army, that was totally different. Like I was young and wild and soaring my what they call it, soaring my royal oats. You know what I'm saying? I don't live that life. I've been stopped all the crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been living a more moderate lifestyle, man. I'm trying to live. In 2005, I lost my mom, and I realized life was short, and I had to change my life. So my life has radically changed since 2005, for real. But like me, the 44-year-old me, nah, man. I'm not out here. Bodywork. It's been almost 2 years since Mel lost to Canelo. I know. That's so true. Too many people in this world for boxing topics to not get seen. The numbers are suspect. Yep. But I ain't crying, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to do my thing. I'm still going to put this message out, man. I'm still going to try to give y'all a good dialogue to talk about. But look, man, Charlo, man, one of the best jabs in the game, fundamentally sound. He's saying that this version that we're getting now, he said it reinvented Charlo. I seen the way he was like, some of the moves he was doing on that bag using explosive, and I think he's going to try to vary up his offense. And I think secretly, I think Big Maul got something I think Big Maul is getting ready to show us something. I think he got a chip on the shoulder, but this is the thing. This is what I find funny this is what I find funny in the narrative around when people speak about the Charlos. A lot of people just say they don't like him. When you ask them why you don't like him, I mean, I just don't like him. I just don't. They can't give you no valid reason as to why they don't like him. But the thing is, just like Mel, if y'all realize it, Mel had toned himself down going into the Canelo fight, right? Somebody else kind of toned themselves. They got a Canelo fight. They got a Canelo fight coming up. And to me, when it comes to like, you know, speaking to and talking to Canelo, they kind of toned themselves down. Like, I don't hear a whole lot of rah-rah. I don't hear a whole lot of crazy stuff coming out against Canelo now. But I remember when Jermall was getting ready to do it, because Mel was all rah-rah. Mel had a different approach. He was a lot more calm. They was calling him, oh man, that's the pussycat Charlo. Meow. And then you still got a channel that still do the meow, meow with the Charlos, right? So now I find it funny because Maul was Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth. Maul used to be Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth. He was like that. He would hit you head on, blunt force trauma. Like Maul in his right mind. That's why I don't respect the Caleb Plant stuff. I don't respect the slap. And a lot of people play around, they talk about it. Yes, it is a fact that Caleb Plant slapped the shit out of Maul. I don't respect it because you knew the man was going through mental health. You knew the man was going through mental health. That's like some sucker shit to me. Now Maul, it's up to Maul. He got to get it back in blood. Just like Devin got to avenge that shit that Ryan did to him. Maul has to avenge that. Well, guess what? He got cornflake. He got cornflake ahead of him. And guess what? The first press conference, the one they did online where they was on video, they were doing a video Zoom call or whatever, I was real nervous. I was really nervous because Maul seemed like he was in a little different space. He was in a little different space. He didn't sound right. It was a little delay. It just sounded a little weird to me. I was like, man, you know, we kind of seen this. Like, if you've been around people, you kind of seen that kind of energy, heard that kind of stuff before. Since that one, every time he's been on camera and he's been speaking, he's been calm. He's been deliberate. It has not been that delay. It just seems like he's positive. It seems like he's thinking. I think that the little bit of reservation that he had before he speak is because they throwing a lot of trick questions at him. And he's trying to figure out how to approach it and to not feed into the negative energy, but answer the subject, be truthful about it. And he's been very transparent. I think he realized something. Just like myself, I had to realize something. When you got imperfections and you're dealing with stuff, the best thing you can do is be honest, and be honest not only with yourself, but be honest with everybody around you about the situation. So he started saying, yeah, I wasn't in my right mind. Yeah, I had a problem. Like, yes, I thought I could live inside the bottle. He's like, yeah, but I had to get over that. Every question they asked him, he answered it straightforward. He didn't duck the question. What you're seeing now is he's way better, like than the build up before when he fought Benavidez. The build up for that, way better mindset, in my opinion. Like this Maul, he seemed like he's so cool, calm, and so mature and so whatever. It's almost scary. Because it could. The detractors are going to say, like, do you see these detractors down here? Like you see over here, down there in the right, you see that? That's the detractor. That's the naysayer that the finger's pointing to. The doubters. You see that guy down there sitting down? The detractors are going to say, oh yeah, he could say all this and say all that. He got to get in the ring. We all are saying that we got to see it in the ring. So he's battling ring rust. He's battling, whatever, substances or whatever. He's battling mental health. He's battling all of that stuff. But guess what? He's coming back. Right? Some detractors are saying, oh man, Maul, man, he used to be all rah-rah. Look at him now. He domesticated. He a pussycat. He's all that. It's like, no, he's mature now. See, when you go through things and you have to take a step back and, you go up 4 steps and you got to take 3 steps back, and then you go up 2 more steps, you got to take a step back. Like when you go through things, you realize, okay, look, man, the next time I take a step forward, I'm not taking a step back. I'm going to take 2 steps forward. I'm not taking a step back. I might have to take my time and not try to clear so many steps at a time. But as I move up, however many steps, I'm not taking a step back. And sometimes those things take time. As fans, we can't rush these boxers to come back when we want them to come back. We can't even make them fight when we want them to fight. We can't even make them fight who we want them to fight. We just got to have responsible conversations out there, put our thoughts and ideas out there. If you have any level of influence, you can speak to this and speak to that and try to, just put your energy out there. But these are their lives. This is not like the Lakers or the 76ers or somebody where it's a set schedule and that team got to play. Like, no, these are men individually and women individually that have to be right themselves and have to get in. Some of them get in there with injuries. Some of them get in there with stuff on their mind and they get messed up. And the worst thing a boxer can do is to jump inside of a bottle. The best thing a boxer can do is to train. He said he never stopped training. He said he got tired of looking at himself in the mirror and seeing himself in that lowered state. If you ever been through anything, if you ever had any level of depression or anything like that, yeah, you'll get tired of doing the same thing. You'll get tired of drinking the same drink, waking up, feeling the same way every day, like waking up having to throw up or having to just do or drink a gallon of water, like whatever it is you do, or clean up a mess, have to figure out what happened over here, what happened over there, where's my car parked, where are my keys, what really happened, apologizing to folks because you might have got violent. You get tired of that. So he had to take a couple steps back. He had to go back there in that dark room like they do with that film, with that red light, and develop a little bit until the picture got real clear, and he decided, I still want to box again. He's still undefeated. He's still 33-0. That still would be a big pelt on the wall for anybody that can try to put a 1 in that L column when it comes to Jermall, the Hitman Charlo. Right? Salute the Cam J Network. To my dog, salute. Bodywork Box. Hit the like button and support the cook up. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Cam J was cooking too. Subscribe to his channel, man. They had a good little cook, man, yesterday, man. They had a great little cook, man. Like, it's always good to hear people with that they don't all agree. I disagree, and you know this, but they know how to talk about it. They know how to disagree. They know how to, you know, they don't cut people off. They you know, it was a good cook, man. Subscribe to Cam's channel, man. I was working yesterday, just listening to it. If I wasn't working, I would have definitely jumped up on there and participated with everybody, man. But it was a good cook, man. Good cook. Bodywork. We even had a bootleg Charlo and William Skull. Hey, that's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. You might have bootleg. Monster drinks at this hour. Bodywork. Damn, you be spinning in the morning. That's my last. Those are my last two. Those are my last two things, Johnny Allison, man. But then once I put down these blacks and stop sipping, but they go hand in hand. His twin, salute his twin. Bodywork, salute his twin. But yeah, they go hand in hand. When I don't smoke these blacks, I don't really drink no Monster because I don't like the taste of the blacks. Ain't that weird? But hey, I gave up smoking. I gave up drinking, man. Man gotta have something. You know what I'm saying? Man gotta have something. Well, you know, man do got something. You know, but yeah, man, I'm free, man. I'm kind of free, man. That's my last two little things I gotta, you know, stop doing. But you know, damn, he tamed the lion in the hammer punch when he was getting introduced. Cornflake can fight. To me, Charlo sounded drunk or high. I was getting worried for him. In that first one, the video one. But since then, man, he's been clear. I sure hope he's not fucking around, Bodywork. Me either, man. I got a lot of positive energy out there for Maul, man. Bodywork, who are the trainers of the Charlos now. I think I'm not gonna speak on Mel until he come back. But I know in looking at the interview, Maul was saying something about he was saying something about how Mel really didn't I guess I ain't gonna say see eye to eye, or I guess they got different philosophies is how he put it. And he said I'm not gonna speak on it on his situation, so I'm not gonna speak on Mel either. But I'm pretty sure Ronnie Shields is still in the mix. Because he still brought up Ronnie Shields. But the good thing is that you gotta realize as a twin, when you and your twin got something going on and maybe y'all significant others don't get along, and you got nieces and nephews and y'all got all this money and all this fame, and it's always a matter of differences and all that. And then when y'all relationship ain't depart, and I think, you know, people can say it's an excuse all they want, right? They can say it's an excuse all they want. But I know when Mel went into that Canelo fight, I know that the fact that Maul and him wasn't like They twins, man. If they wasn't on the same sheet of music and they was having their differences, you know that gotta affect you going into a fight. That's why I don't see why we be so divisive when it comes to twins. Like, that's why I've been bringing them up. It's a young group of, they call it the Grandy twins, man. These little dudes are serious. I've been watching them on Instagram and watching them in their progress and all that, man. I hope that that'll be another set of great twins that we have, and I hope we don't do that bullshit when it comes to them. You know what I'm saying? All of the divisive things we do and how to split them apart, and then if you don't have the courtesy of taking to get to know one from the other, then don't talk about them. But I went through this in that video. You'll probably see to where, like, if Mel says something out of turn, Maul would have to take it and deal with that criticism, and they would attribute the same criticism to Mel for something Maul said, and vice versa. You got to split them apart. They're their own men, and they went on to have 2 different careers. If you can't take the time to separate them and their identities and who did what and who fought who, don't talk about them. That would be probably the more responsible thing to do. But I noticed with us, even when it come down to like saying something like Richardson Hitchens. We won't even perfect the proper way to say our own name. But we can say Lomachenko. It's just like in football, man. They like how they, when commentators, when they don't care, they will butcher the shit out your name. But let it be somebody that commands respect. You're gonna figure out how to say Ron Jaworski. You know how to say all the Janikowskis and all that, but like we can't even perfect identities and how to say certain boxers' names, bruh. Like, it's ridiculous, man. I just find that funny, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. See, look at this. Johnny. Wait, I thought it was Jermall was the one fighting Cornflake. He lost to Canelo, by the way, or did I get that wrong? Yes, brother. That is wrong. Jermall, undisputed at 54, jumped up for Canelo and lost. He got stripped of his title the minute he stepped in. Maul was originally supposed to fight Canelo, but because of mental health issues and things outside of the ring, he afforded his brother Jermall, the one that was undisputed at 54, to take his place in that fight. And that speaks to this is what I was trying to say in the beginning, how different people got mercy for their mental health or whatever they was going through when they cited mental health, but those same courtesies weren't extended to Jermall when he was going through it. Because think about it. Look at Berlanga and the life-changing payday he had with Canelo. Right? Look at all of these people that have life-changing paydays when they go to Canelo. You got to be like, something really has to be wrong with you upstairs or in your life to pass up an opportunity to have a life-changing payday like that. So to not let it go null and void and have him pick somebody else, Jermall was afforded the opportunity to jump up and do it, even though Maul had already been fighting at 160, the weight class above, who was more conditioned for the size of that. Mel was just daring to be great because he was already undisputed. He like, hey, somebody got to get that payday. And we didn't expect for Mel to go in there and do anything like that. But let's just parking lot this one thing. Your mindset will have to be off to turn down a Canelo payday. Especially prime for prime. A lot of people thought that Maul could beat up Canelo. Now, people will gaslight you. Mental manipulation, do mental gymnastics, omission, act like they forgot. Maul has one of the best jabs in the sport. He's one of the most fundamentally sound guys in the sport. If he hit you with that jab and he follows up with that right hand, he catch you flush. Because remember, Jermall was the one that did what he did to Erickson Lubin. Jermall was the one who did what he did to Julian J. Rock Williams. We gotta take our time and identify who they are and who's who. And the actions of one, even though they're combined, they're together, the actions of one shouldn't affect the actions of other, outside of the fact that they are just twins, right? So hopefully that cleared it up for you, Johnny. Jermall is still undefeated. Jermall was the one that was originally supposed to fight Canelo, but he was going through something in his mind. He was going through some mental health issues. He afforded 154-pound undisputed Jermall Iron Man Charlo to move up and take advantage of that opportunity. Maul sat out and got himself together. He had a fight with Jose Benavidez, David Benavidez's older but smaller brother, at a catchweight. And that was the last time we saw him. He's just now making his return. The man is unblemished, even though Jermall actually got undisputed. So hopefully that clears up everything for everybody, man. One thing about Charlos are they are men with a ton of confidence in the boxing prowess, but Maul thing is he doesn't wholeheartedly is all the way in it. The streets ain't an athlete's friend. I don't know. As of late, I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I think it's a good sign he's coming back, and I'm taking it as though he prioritized his life again. You know what I'm saying? He prioritized his life again. Boxing over everybody, even your own family, it seems. Man. Eddie B has so many diamond chains he wears now. That motherfucker can't hardly hold his head. Yeah, Eddie B. Yeah, man, we gonna see, man. We gonna see with Berlanga, man. Will Berlanga show up against Hamza Shiraz? Because Hamza Shiraz, man, he has a skill set to where when he's on and he fights behind that skill set, it's a tough match. And I know historically, well, the ones that actually started showing that they gave him problems was those skilled boxers. So this is gonna see, man. This is gonna mean a lot. This is a career-defining fight for Berlanga in Shiraz, in my opinion. Salute to my peopleizations and the kings and queens in the chat. The knee pad boys are mad because me and BFGB get paid by Bill Haney. We ain't hiding it no more. Oh, man. I know this ain't the real purple veins, but yeah, man. I know this ain't really him, man, but salute, man. Salute to this guy, man. I know this ain't really blue blood, man. But that's funny as shit. Oh, man, that's classic, man. Last time we had Bill Sneaky Link in here, man. That shit was funny. Is that Bill Haney Sneaky Link was in here. But yeah, man, let me do something for y'all, man. Let me do something for y'all, man. Let me put this out here, man, so we could chop it up, man. That shit funny, man. Oh, Bill Haney sneaky link. I'm in here, baby. Oh man. Hey, when next time when you and Bill pillow talking, man, just tell him, man, was that a hit list or was that a get hit list, or can we just get 2 off of that list, man? Can we just get like out of all the lists, man? Can we just get Ryan and get Boots off of that list, man? Like you don't even gotta fight nobody else, man. If he could just give us 2. Now, normally I do an 80-20 rule, but I'm just for this hit list, this quote unquote hit list, all I really would want, for Christmas is for the 20% rule. I'm gonna do a 20% rule. If he could just do 2 out of them 10, hey, you winning, man. Hey, you winning, man. If I could just get 2 of them people off of that 10, No, Johnny Allison, that's his sneaky link, man. That's why I'm saying whenever they pillow talk, whenever Bill land there, you know what I'm saying, they pillow talking, I'm just trying to figure out if we can get 2 out of them 10 off of the list. You know what I'm talking about? He said, Haney ain't fighting nobody on that list. He boxed like he had his man taken prior to the... Dang, man. Y'all gonna make my man mad up in here, man. Watch out. I know, man. That's why even if they stop borrowing my materials and they actually, you know what I'm saying, and they actually, what they call it, beckon me to entertain an offer, I don't even know if I can entertain an offer, man. Because I'm not going to bend the knee, man. I'm not going to kiss the ring, especially a nipple ring. That's not me, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey. I'm with that whole give me liberty or give me death. You know what I'm saying? You going to have to, man. You going to have to smoke me, man. Yes, Haney definitely was moving like he had postpartum stresses or like another man violated. Dang, man. Y'all going in, man. I ain't even doing that, but yeah, just bought himself new teeth and brand new pair of tracks. Guess what? The multi-million-dollar rematch ran away from the... Yeah, I was trying to be serious about that, man. To be honest, and y'all open it up. Y'all open it up to this. I'm just partying with the chat, man. I'm partying with the chat. Y'all bringing this stuff to me. I'm gonna speak about what y'all putting up here on the screen. I didn't go here. Y'all did this, right? But I was trying to say, man, realistically, yes, I want them to get their get back. I want to see the rematch, right? But I think the value of the fight went down. Why? Because to be honest, y'all, I don't think Ryan's gonna be able to cut the ring off. With that style that Devin showed, I don't think Ryan's gonna be able to cut the ring off. And I was talking to my lady earlier today, man, and I was telling her, I said, man, we in the era now where now boxers actually want to be able to get in the ring, and it's almost like if you can go to the zoo, right? And you can get inside the lion's cage and you can last, for 12 minutes. Now, I wouldn't try that. But the now, like, fighters are actually being rewarded for saying, oh, I got in there for 12 rounds and they couldn't touch me. Oh, I touched you. Oh, you couldn't touch me. Oh, I touched you twice. Oh, you couldn't touch me once. Oh, there go 3 times. You only touched me once. And, you know, rinse, wash, repeat. And then the fight is over. And then they want to glorify it. And I'm like, that, if you want to do that, that is cool. The problem is where you getting paid millions of dollars and you're thinking that somebody's going to keep paying. Why? Because fans don't want to see that. They don't want to see you play. They don't want to see you and then like, oh, I touched you. Oh, you didn't touch me. Oops, I touched you again. You can't touch me. They don't want to see that based on the money. Now, if you have a style and you got fans that's like, oh man, he went in that lion cage for 12 rounds, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He got away with it. There's a market for that. That market is not going to pay the amount of numbers that you want to be paid. So if you're going to have that style, and I can't tell nobody what they worth, if you're going to have that style, it does not garner the pay associated with that style. So I say that Rolly upset the apple cart. Yes, Ryan lost, but Devin won and still somehow he lost interest from some fans because I didn't have any answers answered after that other than what AC said, where it's like he proved like, yeah, I can get back in the ring, but it's like you can get back in the ring and you can use your feet, but what did you show us? Especially when Barbosa washed that man way better than I think you did. And that's no offense. That's just looking at it objectively, man. Like I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, since we talking about it, since somebody brought it up, but I don't think people really want to see that. So, and there are exceptions. Like Maul, he gonna come in there and put hands on you. I'm sitting up here looking at it, man. Maul is fighting a guy that's 39-5-1. He fought Jose Benavidez, who was 28-2. He fought Juan Montiel. He's 24. He's 22-4-2. He fought Derevyanchenko, Dennis Hogan, Brandon Adams. He fought Korobov, Hugo Centeno, Jorge Sebastian Highland. He sparked Julian Williams in the 5th. That's when Julian Williams was 22-0-1. He beat Austin Trout. K9 Bundridge and K9, man, people thought K9 was going to be, you know, K9 was 34-5. But Maul is nice, man. Maul got a nice resume, man. He got a really nice resume. I think that they timed him out. He got some names. I mean, beating Austin Trout, that's not anything to shake a stick at. That's back when he was 30-2. He was just 30-2 at that time. Julian J-Rock, he was still undefeated. He only had one draw. He was 22-0. Hugo Centeno, he knocked Hugo Centeno out in the 2nd round. Korobov, that fight was a little interesting. That fight was a little interesting, man. That Korobov, that was a little bit more competitive than what I thought. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was Korobov. He fought Derevyanchenko, Dennis Hogan. People was around that Dennis Hogan time. People were just, they were taking a real big crap on Maul for that. Around that time, he didn't really have no support at that time. I'm like, man, listen. He made this dude do a backwards tumble, man. I ain't never seen somebody get hit. Not now wrestling, we just seen some crazy stuff in wrestling, but real boxing, He hit that man and made him do like a tumble backwards, man. That man didn't even know where he was. That was over in the 7th. Dennis Hogan was 28-2, 28-2-1, man. Juan Montiel, he hit Juan Montiel with everything in the kitchen sink. And Montiel had hit him too, but a lot of people knock him because Jaime Munguia at a lower weight class when they were down at welterweight, Jaime Munguia had already stopped Juan Montiel. But that happens, man. That happens. I mean, we do know that Irislandi Lara stopped LaManna emphatically. And so, you know, first time coming back and all that, I'm not sure if Charlo will do it, but I'm leaning towards him getting it done. Why? Because Thomas LaManna, I don't think he's going to get in there and try to fence. I don't think he's going to try to get in there and fence with him. I think he know that he can make a name, and if he can capitalize on how rusty Charlo may appear, Maul Charlo, Big Charlo may appear, and he's not, you know, he's a 46% knockout artist, but he's not really known to be a knockout artist. But he is coming off a string of 4 knockouts. He's coming off of a string of 4 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. G Tatted Up TV. I was just referred to this channel. 100. The boxing fan base is 95% casual dominant, and casual fans love the Mexican style and knockouts. It would be hard for fighters like Dev Annie to sell. Oh, appreciate it, G Tatted TV, man. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for popping up and popping in, man. Hopefully you subscribe. Good point, GTV. And that wasn't the real Bluebird Sports TV. That's some weirdo impersonator. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was. That's why I said I knew it was. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, like, I think this is the message. Let me go back to this, man, because it's kind of polarizing, right? Like, I think that and this is part of the, I normally do the curriculum. I call it gaslighting, right? A lot of people be gaslighting, you know, manipulating you into thinking that something like, what you want him to be, rock 'em, sock 'em? Oh, y'all want rock 'em, sock 'em. Yeah, you want him to stand there and let him get hit like a pinata. And it's like, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that use your feet as needed. But people don't come to see people fence. If they wanted to see fencing, they would watch fencing. That's just like if in the sport of fencing, right? If you seen somebody swing and then punch somebody in the face, you be like, hold on, man, that's not fencing, that's boxing. So how come in boxing we can't be like, man, I ain't come to see you fence? Now, yes, if you have, like, I could see if your opponent wasn't just coming off of a loss, if somebody didn't just show that they could clearly outbox your opponent, right? If you had the power, you had, let's say, 5 out of the 7 advantages. You have 5 out of the 7 advantages, right? Your opponent only got 2 advantages over you. You got 5 over him. We want you to show, like, because you can't say that it's levels and then not show us that it's levels. What did you show us? You showed us that you can tag somebody and they can't tag you. That's not showing that it's levels, in my opinion. It's showing that, yeah, you're a superior athlete. Yeah, you're more conditioned, probably. You know? And that style is not going to put butts in seats that equate to you asking for the price that you're asking for. So don't let people gaslight you into thinking, oh, you just hating, you just don't never have nothing positive to say. It's like, no, boxing fans don't want to see fencing. They want to see boxing, because It's two extremes. It's two extremes. I think I made this comparison last week. When you, like me, my lady just said it. My lady just said it too. Like when she seen Moses Itama, as soon as that happened, she said, "See, that's what you're supposed to do." She said, and I see you, boom. She said, "That's what you're supposed to do." She's like, "Babe, you see how he went in there? He didn't leave it to the ref hand." I said, "Exactly, babe. Exactly." Now it'll come a time where you might not be able to get the job done, right? But when you prefer, like me, I say I don't like safety first fighters. I like knockout artists. I like the people that's gonna come in and try to do bodily harm. They're gonna try to, because when you knock somebody out, if you get a TKO, if you make them retire on the stool, you take the fight out of the judge's hands. When it's just that even, sometimes it may get to where it's like, man, ain't nobody knocking nobody out this fight. Like, we just know maybe it's two hard chins. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just that equally skilled. That happens, right? But when you prefer, like myself, people knock on me and say, "Oh man, you like them knockout." Like, no, I like the pure boxer too. But when there's difference in levels and they're in the ring, a pure boxer, like AC, he cited it earlier. He's like the TKO for a pure boxer is like the boxer's knockout. We either make a nigga not want to come out of the corner, you make the referee come in and console. But for me, a guy who prefers the knockout artist, I do prefer the knockout artist. I don't want my guy to get robbed on the scorecards because of whatever. I don't care if it's a TKO. You make a nigga not want to come out the corner. You make a nigga say, "Oh nah, man, that's it. No mas." You bust him open. Something, man, to not let it be in the judges' hands, man. The judges have robbed us boxing fans too many times. I prefer the knockout artist. They hit me with, "Well, it's called boxing. It's not called knockouts," right? That's one extreme, right? But I could tell them the same thing, in that the nature of the game is to hit and not get hit. But it's called boxing. It's not called hit and not get hit. Just like it's not called knockouts. A knockout just seals the deal. Takes it out of the judge's hand. It clears up the confusion. Thanks, G Tatted Up TV. I appreciate it. Exactly. I hate when I hear that analogy. Exactly. Because I always say, man, if it's called football, right? It's called football. And the game has touchdown. But if you seen the football game full of field goals, you'll be kind of pissed off. You want to see some touchdowns. It might come down to where two defenses is, you know what I'm saying? It's just a defensive tough game, and a field goal might win a game. But if you see a football game full of field goals, you'll be pissed. You want to see some touchdowns, even though it's called football, not touchdowns. It's the same thing, man. Same thing. Laura Wire Swift made him retire. That's a bad man still. Still, champ. That's why I said our fight between Haney and Shakur would be, hey, tag, you're it. Somebody's gonna have to step up. But see now though, this the thing about that. Somebody's being real funny, man. Somebody's being real funny, man. Oh man. Somebody being real funny tonight, man. That's wild, man. That's wild. Y'all wild, man. Y'all are pretty creative too. But look, at this stage, right, they both have something to lose. Especially since Devin got his O back. Devin got his O back, so who's afraid to lose more? Who's gonna turn up? Even between two skilled boxers, who's gonna turn up and set themselves apart? That's the question. Yeah, but now Moses has the attention of Martin, Badman, Bacoli. That's straight fire. If they put that one together. Yeah. And only his team know if he ready, man. But it could end bad, you know, if he's not ready. But he looked ready. He looked ready, man. That's a dangerous fight, man. Especially if Bacoli, if Bacoli really get in shape. Because he had to go, I guess he had to go through the little suspension time. And people say this is making excuses. He had to go through the time period where he was suspended before he could actually fight again. And then that was a short notice fight, so he didn't have a full camp really to prepare for FA, even though I think FA won that fight, man. He just got a draw. Yeah, man, I said they pretty creative, man. I don't know who that is. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I still have Torres to get the dub against Moses. He has the Olympic experience. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. You do? Bro. Johnny Allison. Moses Atama, man. Moses Atama would stop Torres, bro. Moses would stop Torres right now, bro. It's going to be one of these. It's going to have to be like somebody that's going to be able to get with Moses right now, man. It's going to have to be somebody like Dubois. It's going to have to be like Dubois. Depending on how Fury will box him. Usyk. Joseph Parker. It's gonna have to be a 10-year. It's gonna have to be a 10-year vet, man, or one of these guys with that. I don't got Torres being able to stick with Moses. Respectfully, man. I don't think so, man. High motor and all that. That man to rush him with his head down. You seen how Buddy went out like Superman, man. I don't got it like that. But I want to put something out here, man. I was talking to my old head last week, and he wanted me to put this question out here, right? He wanted me to ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all a question, man. I want feedback. I want feedback in the comment section. He said, listen, he told me to ask y'all this. He said he believes that when somebody moves up and they fight somebody for undisputed, when it's not even say move up, when somebody fights somebody that is undisputed, he said that if they win, they should get the belt of the sanctioning body that they campaign in. So if they were number one, let's just say they were number one in the WBA and number one in the WBC. If they fought and beat the undisputed, right? I guess initially they would get the title of undisputed, but those other two belts, well, I don't know what title they would get. They should get the two belts that they were in line for, and the other two should become vacated. And if they wanted to get the full one, then they would have to go and fight the number one in the other sanctioning bodies. You right, Johnny. But what y'all think about that? If you challenge somebody, like this wouldn't affect anything now. Like up until if they pass this rule, up until if they ever were to do this, this is a hypothetical. What do y'all think about that? When somebody challenges somebody that's undisputed. So don't think about the upcoming undisputed. Don't think about Bud Canelo and all that. No impact to that fight. Don't think about Nothing that has happened in the past. Don't think about Devin and his undisputed. Don't think about Mel and his run for undisputed. Don't think about Naoya anyway and their undisputed as it stands. Don't think about nothing in the past. When a person is in line and he challenges, let's say he's in the IBF, but somebody got all 4 belts. When he steps, because he's number 1 in the IBF, but he's not rated anywhere else. He's not rated anywhere else. He steps up, he beats that guy. Should the other 3 be vacated and you got to fight the number 1 in each one of those? Should you have to beat the number 1 in each of the other sanctioning bodies to garner all of the belts again? Or it should stay the way it is? Jerry, I agree. To me, to be undisputed, you should have to at least beat the top 3 guys in the division. There we go. So I got somebody that actually agrees with my old head. That KO was lit, Bodywork, but you naming the killers you naming, I still want to see Moses take out somebody like Big Baby, and I take it more serious. Yeah, I mean, but see, the thing is, I'm not putting I think Torres, man, respectfully, man, I want to say respectfully, because I'm not trying to, I'm not being disrespectful. I just think that Torres, I'm not that high on the skill set, right? And I seen how Guido, I see how Guido was able to give him problems with those long arms and how he couldn't get past without putting his head down and basically bum rushing. You put his head down against Moses, he's going to sleep. The only thing I saw with Moses here, the only flaw I seen was he has a tendency to back straight back. His first reaction to back straight back. Now he got some other things. He might back straight back, and if you come in willy-nilly, he gonna counter. That can only be a problem against somebody like Bacoli, where if you back straight back and you can't get out of the way of him coming forward with how long he is, he's gonna touch you. And if he time you doing that, it ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it. Now, he will back straight back, and then he can get his head off the line. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing I seen. But you either gotta have the long enough arms, the timing, or the skill set to be able to counteract him backing straight back like that. But that's the only thing I'm really seeing right now. Other than that, it's just we gotta see. I think somebody mentioned it earlier. I think L-Dub mentioned it. We gotta see somebody being able to get in there and actually take those punches and see how he deal with it when he can't time or hurt somebody with them punches, and somebody can actually box, stick, and move. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, if Jared wanna do that, you know what I'm saying, I'll be for it. If Fabio Worley want to do it, you know what I'm saying? I like Fabio, man. I've been watching them for a while. Jerry said Torres is a pure puncher with a lot of aggression. Could be whoever lands first. But I don't got Torres I haven't seen Torres outright. I haven't seen him spark nobody. It's been accumulation. It's like Moses. If Moses catch him with his head down like that, because I don't think he's gonna be able to go in there and get that off with Moses. Moses look like he is disciplined. And his eyes, I think his awareness and his vision. For a boxer, I like to see boxers who have vision. When they can sit there and look and see clear at all times. Like they ain't hiding and peeking. He can see. I think his awareness is good. And since he's so young, he got reflexes like a cat, man. I think he's and he's accurate. You know, he's very accurate, man. I can't get too high on him. You know, I want to see him against some different style, but I seen him a little while. I seen him a couple fights ago, and I said, man, that young boy a problem, man. I think they need to take their time with him. But he got the makings of something special. But I had put the link out there, man. If anybody wanted to, boom. I was really done, boom, and then you jumped off, boom. But I was trying to get through that one point, and then we can cook on whatever you wanted. But you hopped off, man. I guess I took too long. My bad, brother. But I really wasn't. I went into something else because you had jumped off. But I was really just wanted to close that one point out about the whole, you know, hit and not get hit versus the knockout artist and all of that, man. That's all that was, boom. But hopefully you'll jump up here next time, bro. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say, man, this fight week, man, let's not get distracted, man. Let's not get distracted about all the people that's gonna say, I don't like them. I don't like. Okay, so don't talk about them. Don't talk about them. Don't even waste everybody's time with the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste. If you're calling into a show, or if you're commenting on the show, or you got some input, don't even waste your breath to be like, I just don't like Charlo. Okay, cool. What else is new? You know what I'm saying? I think he should have the same grace that all these other cultures give their fighters when they actually go through some mental health, real life problems, and they're actually able to bounce back. Because we always see it go the other way. We always see it go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Mugshot, orange jumpsuit, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever color the county, whatever color the county you in. But I'm happy for Big Mom, man. Anyways, I appreciate everybody who came in, man, today. Jerry, Johnny Allison, G Tatted Up TV, I appreciate the sub. Bill Haney, Sneaky Link, DSTN. Haney's pocket holder. Oh man. Modern King Boxing, I appreciate you with that super chat. His twin, DSTN. Cam J Network stepped in for a second. Adam. Yeah, man, I just wanted to salute. I wanted to welcome Big Maul back, man. This is the first of 3. Who a lot of people were just hoping and praying that these 3 guys, Big Maul, Twin Charlo, Jermall Charlo, Errol, The Truth, Spence. A lot of people were hating that these guys would just get out of the sport and hang it up and do all this and do all that. I'm like, that's crazy. Because combined, because all 3 of them combined only got what, 3 losses? Ain't that wild? All 3 of them combined, all together, they only got 3 losses. Errol Spence lost 1 time. Big Maul, he never lost. Mel, he lost to Tony Harrison, which many consider that like that could have went either way, but a lot of people say, hey, yeah, blah blah blah, depending on how you saw that fight. He lost to Tony Harrison. He got a draw against Castaño, and he lost to Canelo Alvarez. Errol Spence lost to the #1 pound for pound boxer in the sport. So Big Maul has never lost. He's been in there 33 times. And out of all 3 of them fighters, it's only 3 losses and a draw. And people want them to retire, bro. Food for thought, man. Anyways, man, I appreciate everybody who came in the building, man. Support the channel. Hit the like button. You know, if you catch this on the playback, talk to me, holler at me. I'll talk back. But like I said, man, this is more like a recap on Big Maul, a clarification on Big Maul. We've seen where I said that they aged him out. I think they started the process back then. This is when I started seeing the process back then. He went through some things. He was able to come back. And now the question is, will he be able to claim victim number 34? I hope so, man. I'm pulling for him. I'm rooting for him, man. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.